do what I just did. Now, if you're the superstitious type, you probably wouldn't have. But why not? What do you think is wrong with walking under a ladder? And most people will say, oh, it's bad luck to walk under a ladder. But how did you get this association between bad luck and walking under a ladder? You know, how does anybody make any connections between bad luck and certain objects? And I think Marlene Dietrich answers this question really well when she says that superstitions are habits rather than beliefs. I know personally that some of the superstitions I have come from just watching family members and neighbors and friends, and it's not just something that I truly believe in, but they always did it, so like the quote says, it just became a habit for me. So the object of this speech is to kind of give you an understanding of where do some of these superstitions come from. And in particular, I'm going to speak about 3 superstitions. One being, why is it considered bad luck when you walk under a ladder? 2, why is it 7 years of bad luck when you break a mirror? And 3, why do people say you need to knock on wood in order to not jinx yourself when it comes to good or bad luck? So to start with superstition number 1, walking under a ladder is bad luck. And this can be traced to many things, but I'm just going to speak about 2 for today. The ancient Egyptians thought that triangles represented the sacred trinity of gods, and so they held in high esteem the shape of a triangle. They even built all their pyramids, of course, were 4 triangles put together, so, you know, they highly esteemed the shape of a triangle. And coincidentally, if you place a ladder on a wall, it of course gives the shape of a triangle, and they thought that anybody who would walk underneath the ladder would be kind of asking to tempt with their fate with the gods. So the second reason why people kind of think bad luck with ladders is that in the 17th century, condemned criminals had to walk under ladders, under the gallows ladders, going to their execution. And so it just got associated that if you walked under the ladder, you of course are about to die. So while there's no time frame on how much bad luck you'll get if you walk under a ladder, my next superstition has a time frame of 7 years. And that superstition, of course, is breaking a mirror. And where did they get that? Why do people say that breaking a mirror gives you 7 years of bad luck? And it kind of can be traced back to the Romans. The Romans thought that when you looked into a mirror, that it would reflect one's soul. And so if somehow the mirror got broken, the image that the person would get would be distorted. And so they equated a broken mirror with a broken soul, and then of course, bad luck. But how did they get 7 years? 7 years seems like a pretty long time. And the Romans believed that the body renewed itself every 7 years. And so if you broke a mirror, it would take 7 years for your body to rid that bad luck. So while the past superstitions I've just talked about can cause bad luck, the next superstition is done to prevent someone from getting bad luck. And of course, this is the term knock on wood. And so where did that term come from? And back in the 16th, 17th century, there were people called tree worshipers, and what they did was they worshiped the trees, and they believed that spirits lived inside any type of wood. And so anytime someone would make a comment about good or bad luck, they would knock on wood because they believed that this would perk up the spirits and kind of give them luck more in their favor. So, you know, those are the origins of just 3 common superstitions that people have today. And I hope that I've kind of given you an understanding of where they come from and why some people do some of the crazy things that you hear about today. And so they say if you walk under a ladder, the way to reverse your luck would be walk in reverse back under the ladder. So that's what I'm going to do, and thanks for listening.